Hey, everybody. Welcome once again to Your Pleasure Incorporated into Daily Living. I am your host, Ellen Nicholas Rathbone, sensuality consultant and life coach with Dream Builders Institute. Today, I want to talk about the different kinds of sexual appetites among women. You know, a lot of people think that every woman can be bought. That all they have to do is just give her the right amount of material goods or spend enough money on her, and they will be able to buy her affection and her body. Well, it's not true. Not all women can be bought. Some women want an actual partner who is willing to treat them with respect and with love and with compassion. Some women just want a family, they just want children, and a partner is necessary for that, but they're not so interested in sexual relations once the children have been born. That's okay for the guy that doesn't have a big sexual appetite or who doesn't want a whole lot of pressure on himself on how to or how many times a month he's expected to lay some pipe. Some women will barter their bodies and their minds and their hearts for safety and security. I'm not coming up with this myself. This is ancient history. Socrates talked about it back in ancient Greece. And he listed these women or these sexual appetites as the wife, the prostitute, and hetere, or as we call her, the other woman. So I want to break it down for you. The wife is the woman who wants to have sex because she wants to have a family. That's her whole thing, is someday she wants to be a mother, and that is the focus. And she loves children, and she can love her husband very, very much, but sex is not the most important thing. It's not even high on her priority list. In as much as she has the children that she wants, her sexual appetite diminishes over the years. And I tell you, if you look very carefully and listen very carefully, you will meet lots of women with that sexual appetite. Now, I'm not getting into why they have that sexual appetite. Maybe it was their mothers or their grandmothers, or it was passed down generationally. Maybe they've had a crappy lover or two. Their first lover was absolutely terrible. And so their attitude about sex is, I just want it for what I want it for, and then we're done. But the bottom line is that's the attitude that she takes with her in deciding how much sex is good enough and what she wants it for. The second woman is the prostitute mentality, or as I like to call it, the barterer. Okay, so she's going to barter her body and her juiciness and her hotness, because those are the things that get you excited, get the partner excited. And as long as you are willing to pay for the expensive vacation, the nice clothes, a nice house, a nice car, all the things, the material things that money can buy, this woman will give you all kinds of sex, as much sex as you want. And she doesn't even really care if you are good at what you're doing, or if you even care about what you're doing. As long as you are paying the bills, and as long as you are doing that part of the relationship, she'll give you any kind of sex you want, anytime you want. It's not a problem, because she sort of disassociates herself. This is a barter. Now, there are a lot of women, actually a third of the population of women, who actually think like this. And it's okay, because that's who they are, and that's their history. And there's obviously something they're needing to grow and learn from. And same thing with the wife, and same thing with the other woman. All of us are growing into ourselves, and sexuality and our appetite for sexuality is part of that growth. So for the woman who wants to barter her affections, and you can even see them on TV, it's like, I gave him sex and he owes me. It's like prostitute, okay? But not the one standing on the corner, the one who feels like, if I give you enough of what you want sexually, you have to give me in equal trade. And that's not necessarily a loving relationship, although it can be a relationship of sorts. But the problem with the prostitute mentality is that the man who is attracted to that woman is not looking to satisfy her. He knows that he's paying for those goods. And as long as he's paying for those goods, he doesn't have to make them happy. He has to make himself happy. So the guy who is attracted to that mentality of prostitute is usually a premature ejaculator. I have to say it. 50% of the men in this country are premature ejaculators. I cannot speak for the rest of the world, but I know 1 out of 2 guys cannot hold back. And all they really want a woman for is all of the things they think they're supposed to have, including access to a juicy vagina whenever they want it. So if that's the thinking, I can tell you now, at least 1 out of every 3 women think like that. But remember, they're not the majority. They're just 1 out of every 3. The reason everybody might think they're the majority is because those are the women that are featured on television all over the place. And that's the reason I'm even talking about this tonight, because it really toasts my cookies when I think that every man out there, or so many men, buy into this bullshit as being, well, this is how all women are. No, all women are not like that. It is insulting to women who like themselves and who find that sex is fun and exciting and healthy to be treated as if, well, I can buy it and you'll just give me what I want. No, there has to be another exchange, a different kind of exchange. So for the prostitute mentality woman, like I said, she will make herself available and give her partner whatever he wants sexually. But I always think that someplace in the back of her mind, she does want to be satisfied. In her relationship with the guy that's paying for it, she's not so worried about it. But that's the woman that'll fake orgasms for you all night long because she wants you to think you the man. You ain't the man. You the premature ejaculator who's using her as a vagina and nothing else. So that relationship is very, very kind of sketchy, not built on a very strong foundation. And quite honestly, both of those people are willing and probably likely to cheat on the other because they're not really being honest about their needs, about their wants, about what they like. They're not talking about that kind of stuff. They're just, putting up with whatever they're getting. And then there is the third appetite. And again, 1/3 of the population. So 1/3 is wife, 1/3 is barterer, and 1/3 is the other woman. And Socrates called her hetere, but that is, well, it means literally the other woman. And this is the woman that actually likes sex. She doesn't want to sell it. She doesn't want to cheapen it. She wants it to be passionate. She wants it to be exciting. She wants it to be fun. She wants it to be varied and interesting. And she wouldn't mind having sex with the same partner. So it's not a problem. But she's not going to be treated as if her needs are secondary to the situation. They're not secondary. If without her, he'd have to take matters in his own hands. So if you want this woman in your life, her pleasure has to come first. There's an old saying that says you don't put the bread in the oven until the oven is hot. Well, that's the same thing. Penis should not go in vagina until vagina is juicy and ready to accept, and the partner draws you to come on in. But a lot of men don't know that. They think, done. And that's wrong. So if you have a woman who actually likes sexual relations and who finds that you smell good and taste good and wants to have sex with you, treasure that partner, because that partner sees sex as the greatest adventure, the most fun you can have without doing anything illegal. I mean, it is beautiful. It is healthy. It is sexually expressive. It is an art form if you want to make it one, or it could be as base as, two dogs getting down. But the bottom line is, it is an art form. And for the other woman, for the woman who will not sell it and doesn't have it solely for children and then loses interest, no, the other woman does not lose interest. Her sexuality and her sexual pleasure are important for a lifetime. If you want this kind of a person in your life, then you have to, and I don't mean this as a pun, rise to the challenge, okay? That means you have to keep yourself healthy. That means you have to take care of yourself. That means you have to have vitamin supplements because today's food is garbage and you will not get what you need. You have to get regular checkups, take care of your endurance. Can you run a mile? Can you run up a flight of steps without getting winded? We don't want somebody dying on top of us. We want somebody who can stay the distance, stay there, because sex is very energetic. And if you are going to have great sex, you got to put some energy into it. And if you don't have the energy, nobody wants to be there with you. So it is that important. Well, I hope I made my point. There are 3 kinds of women, and just because television makes it seem like there's just one, that all women can be bought, it's not true. And 3 kinds. There is a pot for every lid. So there are going to be women and partners who fit perfectly with one partner because they get them. They want what they want in the same amount. Some people want very little sex. That's okay. Some people want a whole lot of sex. That's okay. If you're with the right partner and both of you have good enough imagination, you can make a little bit or a lot great. Okay? Whatever works for you. But don't think that all women can be bought. It is very, very unfair to the female sex to think that we are for sale. And I know a lot of people want us to be for sale. That's why there's all this crap going on in the world, but we're not for sale. And if you love women, if you care about your partner in particular, you want to find out, is she, what is her true interest in making love? And if you can entice her to want to make love with you for the distance, that takes good communication, that takes learning about each other, that takes knowledge of each other, and wanting to bring your best to the situation, to whatever intimate encounter you have with your partner. Everybody can grow. A prostitute mentality can change if her partner actually cares about her. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because then he's putting her needs first. But if he got together with her because she's willing to lay down anytime he wants because he's paying for all the stuff and she, she's just there for the ride, then that's not the kind of communication. That's not the kind of sex where she's going to want to be loyal to that person. So it's really a good idea to know who your partner is, sexually speaking, what their appetite is. Are they wife? Are they barterer? Are they the other woman? And then decide whether that's the woman for you. I hope you found this interesting and fun. Again, my name is Ellen Nicholas Rathbone. I'm a sensuality consultant. Actually, this Saturday is my anniversary in erotica. I've been in erotica for 42 years. Can't even believe that. But I love it. And I'm going to be doing a pleasure party for a phenomenal hostess, and I'm so excited about that. And anyway, if you have any questions, the email address is at the bottom. If you have a topic that you think a sensuality consultant should elaborate on, definitely send me a message and I will be more than happy to consider it. Thank you for your time. Have a phenomenal week. Do your Kegels, males and females. Do your Kegels. Keep your stuff tight and juicy. See you next week. Namaste.